Doug Gottlieb in for Colin. This is The Herd, Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio app, and on Fox Sports 1. Chris Broussard will join us in about 10 minutes. We'll also catch up with John Goulet with the news. Yeah, how dare David Griffin, right? How dare he not want to have a team that was in the luxury tax, that didn't develop young players, that didn't get, a GM that didn't get to pick his coach, and a team that didn't practice. Like, how dare he not want to be the general manager of a team that doesn't practice? So you talk about with the culture. Before we get to that, though, Ezekiel Elliott's still a no-show. He's in Cabo. And Jerry Jones said this in regards to his level of confidence that they'll get a deal done.
You worried about this not getting done?
I don't consider, no, I don't in any way, we're never ever not done one. You just keep plugging. I don't want to be a cliche, but it's what we tell these guys. It's just one foot in front of the other and go and do what you have to do the next play, which is put somebody else in there and just keep going.
So Jerry Jones offered a non-answer, but did say, when have I ever not gotten a deal done? You might ask yourself, and I have, why would Ezekiel Elliott cut in line? Why would he cut in line? Like, Dak Prescott's his quarterback. He's made bubkiss the past couple of years. Jerry has said he's in line for a contract extension. The question is not if, it's how much. Right? Amari Cooper comes over and completely changes the dynamic of the offense. He's set to make $14 million this year. He, too, is in for a contract extension. On the defensive side, you got Byron Jones, among others. You got Jalen Smith. You have other guys who you're cutting in line. And remember, in the National Football League, it's not like Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones go, oh, we saved a couple $1 million on Zeke. Let's put it in our pocket. No, there's a pie. And if you take a bigger slice of the pie, somebody else's pie is shrunk. But there's a reason that Ezekiel Elliott wants his pie now. It's because of the market. This is the same reason that in real estate-driven markets like Southern California, you're seeing so many more for sale signs. On average, I believe it's every 6 to 8 years historically we've had recession. And like we're entering into year 10 with no recession. Right? We've been going housing prices up, and up. But just yesterday, Fed, they're going to lower rates, right? And what are they saying? When our GDP is down, when our growth is down, it's now below 3%, we're creeping closer and closer into the R word, recession. And so people want to cash in now. Hey, if I sell my house now, maybe I'll rent and then I'll buy once the market either levels off and it's a market correction or it's a downright recession. But I don't want to hold on to a house when I bought at the peak. I could have sold, made some money, and instead I had to ride it out through the down and then the back up. That's a 5-6 year deal. The difference is the running back market is not only dipping, but it may never recover. And the wide receiver market is spiking. Right? Quarterbacks up. Aaron Rodgers over $30 million, now the highest paid quarterback. Michael Thomas, wide receivers up. Right? Last year, it was Sammy Watkins who's making over $14 million. Sammy Watkins was like the fourth best wide receiver, fourth best pass catcher on the Rams, and probably the same on the Chiefs. And he's having like $14 million, which, by the way, is the same amount that Todd Gurley makes. Now you got Michael Thomas making $20 million. Zeke Elliott is cutting in line because he knows that running backs are becoming a depreciating asset. Like, look, the big story yesterday was the Chargers won't even offer the opportunity to trade Melvin Gordon. Why do you think that is? Because nobody wants to trade for Melvin Gordon. It's not that he's not good, but if you trade for Melvin Gordon, you have to do so, keeping in mind you're going to pay him somewhere between Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley money, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. The top three running backs, salary-wise, are Todd Gurley, who was replaced by C.J. Anderson late in the season, and C.J. Anderson was on his couch on his third team of the year, was Le'Veon Bell. How good's that Le'Veon Bell contract? Mike McCagnon negotiated it. He was fired shortly thereafterwards. And David Johnson. David Johnson's contract so good with the Arizona Cardinals that they went through 2 offensive coordinators last year. They got rid of their rookie top 10 quarterback. Their head coach got fired as well. And by the way, Jerry Jones saying you don't have to have a number one, top running back in the league. How would he know? He's had it 3 of the past 5 years. Hasn't won a Super Bowl. DeMarco Murray led the world in rushing. How'd that work out for the Cowboys? And Zeke's better than DeMarco Murray. Zeke's a tremendous talent. He can play on all 3 downs. He can block and pass protect. He can catch out of the backfield. He can run the football. But Zeke is cutting in line not because of any other factor than he sees the running back market plummeting. And teams aren't stupid, right? The franchise tag is the average of the top 5 salaries. And if that comes down, as it may, or it doesn't spike, as it looks like it will not, the franchise tag is going to be less than $13 million. And so if you're Melvin Gordon, who is reportedly offered 10 a year, going to make 5 this year, franchise tag next year, are not free agents. They are under contract. And by the way, they can be under contract for the next 3, 4, even technically 5 years if they want to transition tag them. They won't, but at least 4 years. And these dudes are cutting in line for one reason. It's a selfish reason, but it's they see the recession coming in the running back market. Compare that with the wide receiver market. Right? The wide receiver market is spiking. Michael Thomas, OBJ, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. The league has spoken. Hell, they even put in a new rule in the offseason, which you finally saw implemented last night, which is like, if at first there's no pass interference, maybe you missed pass interference, you can throw a challenge flag because there's got to be pass interference, right? Zeke's cutting in line because he sees the recession coming. Chris Broussard joins us in a moment. I'll get his thoughts on David Griffin's comments. Also, Carmelo Anthony had some interesting comments moments ago. We'll get to both of those in a moment. But first, here's John Goulet with some Herdline News.